kind of pain hides behind a voice that moves millions? Marvin Gaye wasn't just the Prince of Soul, crooning hits like "Let's Get It On" and "What's Going On." He was a man carrying a secret so heavy it shaped every note he sang, every choice he made. His life was a masterpiece painted with joy and shadowed by torment, a story that ended in a way no one saw coming. Stick with me, because Marvin's journey is more than music. It's a puzzle of genius, heartbreak, and a truth that still haunts us today. Marvin Gaye grew up in a house where fear was louder than love. Born in Washington, D.C. in 1939, he was a kid caught in a storm. His father, Marvin Sr., a Pentecostal preacher, ruled with a fist and a scowl. The man didn't just discipline, he crushed spirits. Young Marvin took the worst of it: beatings for small mistakes, harsh words that cut deeper than any belt. His mother, Alberta, was the opposite: a soft voice, a warm hug. But even she couldn't stop the chaos. Marvin found refuge in music, singing in church to drown out the shouting at home. His voice was a gift, clear and powerful, even as a boy. It was his way out, his shield against a father who seemed to hate him. But those early scars, they didn't fade. They followed him, whispering doubts no spotlight could silence. And yet, something bigger was brewing in Marvin's world. That voice carried Marvin far from DC's shadows. By the 1960s, he'd landed in Detroit, signing with Motown and turning heads. Hits like "I Heard It Through the Grapevine" made him a star, but "What's Going On" made him a legend. That album wasn't just music. It was a cry for peace, a mirror to a broken world. Fans adored him, screaming his name. But Marvin, he was cracking inside. Fame brought pressure he couldn't handle. He doubted himself, always chasing perfection. The world saw a smooth, confident singer. Marvin saw a boy still proving he was enough. His father's voice echoed in his head, calling him weak. And as the hits piled up, so did the cracks in his life. Success couldn't fill the void. It only made it louder. Then came the women who'd both lift him up and tear him apart. Marvin's heart was a battlefield, and love was no gentle thing. His first marriage to Anna Gordy, Motown's queen, was a firestorm. She was older, sharp, guiding his early career, but their passion turned to poison. Marvin strayed, and whispers swirled about their adopted son, Marvin III. Some said he wasn't adopted at all, but born from Marvin's affair, a secret Anna never confirmed but never escaped. By 1977, their divorce gutted him, costing royalties he couldn't afford. Then came Janice Hunter, young and vibrant, inspiring songs like "Let's Get It On." They had 2 kids, Nona and Frankie, but Marvin's jealousy and control pushed her away. Another divorce, another wound. Both marriages left him broke and bleeding. His charm no match for his chaos. And money, that was about to become his next demon. When the spotlight dimmed, Marvin's world unraveled fast. By the late 1970s, addiction had him in a chokehold. Substances he thought he controlled were controlling him. His cash dried up, spent on lavish habits and bad choices. The IRS came knocking, claiming millions he didn't have. To dodge them, Marvin fled to Europe, living in Belgium, trying to rebuild. There, he recorded "Sexual Healing," a comeback that sparked hope. But his mind was a maze of fear. He spoke of assassins, convinced someone was out to get him. Paranoia clung to him, heavy as his past. He'd escaped his father's house, but not its ghosts. Returning to the U.S. in 1983 seemed like a fresh start. Instead, it led him straight to the one person he could never outrun. A Christmas gift in 1983 changed everything: a gun. Marvin gave it to his father, Marvin Sr., thinking it would ease the old man's fears. Protection, he said, a gesture to mend a rift that never healed. But that gun wasn't just metal, it was a ticking bomb. Marvin had moved back home, living with his parents in Los Angeles, a choice that baffled everyone. The house was a pressure cooker. Marvin Sr., once a towering tyrant, was now frail but no less bitter. Arguments flared over nothing: money, respect, old grudges. Marvin, protective of his mother, clashed with his father constantly. The air was thick with rage, decades of pain boiling over. That gun sat quietly, waiting, and one day it would speak louder than any song. April 1st, 1984, started like too many days in that house. An argument. Marvin and his father were at it again, this time over Marvin Sr.'s harsh words to Alberta. Marvin stepped in, fierce, defending her. Words turned to shouts, then to something darker. Marvin Sr. grabbed the gun, Marvin's gift, and followed his son to his room. 2 shots rang out. The first tore through Marvin's chest, piercing his heart. The second made sure he wouldn't rise. He was gone, 1 day shy of 45. His mother's screams filled the house as Marvin Sr. sat on the porch, calm, waiting for police. He claimed self-defense, said Marvin scared him. A brain tumor diagnosis later softened his punishment. A suspended sentence. The world reeled, mourning a voice silenced by the very man who'd shaped its pain. But Marvin's story wasn't over. Marvin's music didn't die with him. It grew louder. Albums like What's Going On and Sexual Healing still echo, touching souls across generations. His kids, Marvin III, Nona, Frankie, guard his legacy, managing his catalog with care. Nona, a singer herself, speaks of his heart, his flaws, keeping him human. But questions linger. Recent whispers on platforms like X point to Marvin's mind. Could he have had bipolar disorder, or was it trauma from a childhood under his father's fist? Some say Marvin Sr.'s own struggles, rumored cross-dressing, and inner conflict fueled his resentment. Fans still argue. Was Marvin's death a tragic accident or a final act of envy? His estate thrives now, debts cleared by royalties, but the man himself remains a mystery. His pain as timeless as his songs. What's left to unravel? Marvin Gaye gave us melodies that felt like love, but his life was a storm few could weather. From a boy hiding from his father's wrath to a star chasing peace he'd never find, he carried a secret. The weight of a heart that loved too deeply and hurt too much. His end wasn't just a gunshot. It was a lifetime of battles, fought in silence. Today, his music asks us to listen closer, to see the man behind the voice. Could love have saved him? Or was his fate written in those early scars? Think about it. Marvin's story isn't just history. It's a mirror, reflecting what we all carry, hide, and fight for. If Marvin's story hit you as hard as it hit me, drop your thoughts below. What do you think shaped his life the most? Hit that like button if you want more stories like this, and share it with a friend who loves soul music. It keeps the conversation going.